Happy Chanuka and welcome back to this week's Parsha Shir on Sefer Maayan Beit Hashoeva. In the beginning of Parshat Miketz, we're told about the two dreams that Paro has. Strange dreams in which he sees 7 fat cows emerge from the Or, and then 7 skinny cows emerge from the Or, and the 7 skinny cows devour the 7 fat cows. And then he has a second dream in which he sees growing 7 beautiful, healthy, plentiful sheaves of wheat, and then 7 leaner sheaves of wheat, and the 7 lean sheaves of wheat now devour the 7 thicker and more plentiful and more healthy sheaves of wheat. And we're told that Vayikatz Paro v'nei chalom. He wakes up and he realizes this was all a dream. But despite the fact that it was a dream, he was very bothered by this dream. This dream just couldn't leave him. And so the Torah tells us, Vayiva voker vatipa'em rucho. He wakes up in the morning and his spirit was agitated. Rashi explains Vati Pa'im comes from the word Pa'amon, like a bell that kept knocking, that kept going off, an alarm that kept going off in his brain, gnawing at him over and over. Ding, 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 just that knocking sound in your brain that you can't get rid of. That's what he felt in the morning. He just couldn't get rid of the thought that there was something of significance in these dreams. And therefore, because of that, Vayikra, calls a great gathering, Vayishlach Vayikrat Kol Chartumei Mitzrayim, goes and he calls for all the magicians of Egypt, Vet Kol Chachamei, all the wise people, Vayisaper Paro Lahem and Kalomo Vein Poter Odam LeParo, tells them all the dream. None of them have a solution, none of them have a resolution. Rav Schwab says that if you read the beginning of this parsha, something should strike you as very strange. Kol Alomed Parsha Zo Yisma Al Mashe Nivhal Paro Everyone who reads this parsha should be a little bit shocked and taken aback and surprised why Paro was so shocked and stunned and bothered by such silly dreams. So bothered by these silly dreams that made no sense, that he called all of his advisors and all of his wise people for such a critically important meeting. What was bothering him so much? It's silly dreams. We all have silly dreams that make no sense. If you have a very realistic dream that makes perfect sense, that's absolutely reflective of reality, and it's really scary, you can understand why a person would be bothered by that. But these are ridiculous dreams. When do you have cows coming out of the Or? When do you have skinny cows devouring fat cows and 7s? And what are these dreams really about anyways? It's so meguchach, it's so silly, it's so laughable. Why did he become so bothered by it that he gathered everybody together? Halo chalomotav, hayu lichora masot shel tipshut, ma makom lispamot rucho. He says these are all silly dreams, stupidity almost. So why was he so bothered? Why was he so agitated? So did he really believe that there was some level of prophecy in these dreams, that it disturbed his sleep? Doesn't seem like that was the reality. Venera, he says, it seems that one explanation for why Paro was so bothered by this dream is as follows. Shine hiluch machshavaso shel Paro haya shebechol hisnagsho shel beis tzadim is gavru harabim al hamaatim. Paro had a certain life philosophy which followed logic and reason and probably his own experience, which is that logic dictates that if you ever have a battle between two sides, between two different forces, the greater force will outnumber and outweigh and outflank the smaller force and be victorious. The weak fall under the hand of the mighty. He was a Paro over Egypt. He had slaves. Certainly understood what it meant to be a powerful person and what it meant to take over weaker people. And in his world, the powerful take over the weaker. Undisputed. Lefichach Yashav Shakit v'Shanana Kisov v'lo pachad mimered umimal meis yoshvei arso. Therefore, all along, he didn't really sit in fear of there being any rebellion in his land, any uprising of the slaves, because he was the powerful one and they were the weak ones. Aval biroso pisom mareh hamora hefech hirhurei diyuma shalo ubechalomo achlu achalashim lahagiborim. Az achasato chil v'ra'ada Ulai miskonen negdo merida shetasliach al af heyosa al yidei ma'atim v'chalashim. When he sees in his dream that all of a sudden the weak overtake the strong, the skinny overtake the fat, the sickly overtake the healthy, when he saw the reversal of the natural order, he becomes gripped with fear. He realizes that there is potential in the world for the few to actually outweigh the many. And that scares him, because he fears that there could be a rebellion in his land. Lachein shalach v'chara l'chochar t'mei Mitzrayim v'chachameh, shira b'chalomo ma'apecha midyanis. Therefore, he calls all of his advisors. His advisors are there not because they're magicians that can understand the nature of dreams and prophecies, but because he sees in this prophecy a clear indication that there's going to be a rebellion in the land, a slave rebellion of the Chalashim against the Giborim, of the Ma'atim neged the Rabim, of the few against the many, of the weak against the powerful. He thought that they were going to rise up against him, so he calls a cabinet meeting, wants to talk to his advisors about the potential of a rebellion in his land, not from the side of prophecy, but from the side of the nature of the reversal of the natural order. I think we can all understand what Rav Schwab is saying. I think that when you see something that is the reversal of the natural order, when you see something that is so out of the ordinary, you could either view it as being something foolish and laughable, or it can jar you and shock you and change the way you think. You fall into certain patterns and ways of thinking about the world through purely rational thought. And when the opposite of that is presented to you, you shake it, you say, whoa, you're right, there's a whole other way to look at this. There's a whole other possibility that I haven't been seeing, and that shocks you to the core. Of course, the very beautiful nature of this interpretation of Rav Schwab is what leads him to say, Lefi zeh lo b'mikra korim Parshat Miketz b'imei Chanuka. Lahoras al masarta giborim b'yad chalashim rabid b'yad me'atim ein chalom paro. He says, we understand therefore why we always read Parshat Miketz during the holiday of Chanuka. The connection is quite obvious. If the dream of Paro was an indication, despite the natural order of things, sometimes Ma'atim win out against Rabim, sometimes Chalashim win out against Giborim, that is meant to give us a clue and a hint to the theme of Hanukkah, which is exactly reflected in that idea. The whole crux of the Hanukkah miracle, of the winning of the war against the Assyrian Greeks, is captured in the Al-Hanisim prayer, which we thank God for, Masarta Giborim Biad Chalashim, for handing over the Giborim, the mighty ones, in the hands of the weak ones, for reversing the natural order in a miraculous fashion, so to speak. Although it was b'derech hateva, it was through the natural means of the world, but still it was, in a certain way, very much against the grain of the world. It was very surprising in terms of the natural order of things, and perhaps the reversal of it. That is the crux of the theme of Hanukkah. And if that's true, there's some beautiful symbiosis here between the Parsha's theme and the Hanukkah theme. Both of them are supposed to help us to realize God's hand in the world, God's miracles in the world, the ability to see things in a different way, through the lens of godliness, through the lens of miracles, through the lens sometimes of the reversal of the natural way of thinking, the natural order of things. And when we look at the world that way, it opens us up to new vistas of being able to see ourselves in new ways, and the world around us in new ways, and the small achievements and miracles that surround us as well. Chanukah Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.